Hi, everybody. Grady Polson. Welcome to the America Agency. Oh, how about now? Hello, everybody. Grady Polson here. Welcome to the America Agency. Super excited for today's call. This call is a long time coming, and one word would be proud, but second word would be excited about. And who you're going to hear from today is a man who I've learned a ton from, someone that I've competed and battled against, and someone that I'm so excited to see what he's doing now with his business and what he's going to do now here in the next short 6 to 12 months. So Julius Gilgur is an elite producer. There's good producers, there's great producers, and there's elite producers. And Julius will be a gold jacket wearing producer at convention next year. That is $1 million issue paid. He's consistently issuing over $100,000 per month, over $500,000 for the year. And I don't want to say he's doing it on autopilot, but he's doing it at a clip and with a fervent focus that I've yet to ever see in him before. So I'm super excited for today's call, for you to get to learn from him and for you to kind of harness his skill set. He's going to share today his different word tracks, what he says, his lead flow, what he's doing to sell at such a high level, and how you can benefit from it and implement what he's going to do today. And my always, advertisement is a party is more fun with more people, right? So take the link, Join America Live. We're live concurrently on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and take that link, Join America Live, and drop it in your group chats, your WhatsApps, your Telegrams, your GroupMes, your Discords, your Slacks, and let people know that a $1 million producer is about to train on how to sell at that level. Will you create the same level of success? I don't know your skill set. I make no promises and no guarantees. This is a skill set based business. Your knowledge and your skills determines your value to the marketplace. Julius has clearly created an elite value to the marketplace, and something that you all and who you associate with in this business will benefit from. So invite them on to join with you. Join America Live. He'll be on here in just a few minutes. Let me get through the updates. But remember, party's more fun with more people. So invite him on to come join you. Here we go. Yeah, there he is. Isn't he handsome? Like, he's a handsome dude too. Like, you ain't got to look at me anymore. You look at that guy. So he's coming on here in just a minute, but we'll get him on here in a second. Americo, always a reminder, their Eagle Select Quit Smoking Advantage. One of the great benefits of working with all of our different carriers, which is why we set you up as a broker and don't force you in a box where you can sell one carrier that maxes out at 60 years and pay you a super low comp. America's Quit Smoking Advantage. If someone is a smoker, they can get a non-smoking rate for 3 years with the promise that they will quit smoking. And then at 3 years and a day, they're going to ask them to send in a mouth swab and find out, are they now still a non-smoker? And if so, they get to keep that low rate. Just an additional benefit we have with our carriers, and one to note that we don't talk about enough of all of our different incredible carriers that we get to represent. But we love Americo. We love the options they continue to bring to us, which right now also, I got an email this morning about Americo saying that you can have a business be the payer for your IUL through Americo, which is fantastic, because as you ascend in this business, your goal is to communicate and work with and network with more affluent clients, people that have more money and more disposable income, increases the face amount, etc. One of the most popular things is using what's called a key man policy, which is someone whom is a C-suite or an executive at a company. They buy an insurance policy for them as an employee benefit. On top of that, many people are invested and have different LLCs and different asset structures that they set up in their life, and they can use that to fund the IUL as well. So just some additional benefits, always great stuff. Continue to revolutionize and push the needle in this industry. We love America. Discount starting tomorrow, 40% discount on silver and bronze IUL leads. Silver are a week or 2 or 3 old, and bronze are like 30, 60, 90 days old. But regardless, they are 40% off with code SAND26. I mean, I'm glad it's not like AFG2914B9er, but I'm just always like, where do they get these coupon codes from? But regardless, screenshot this ILC leads, they got a great, I'm not gonna be careful of saying this, they have a great refund policy and great, if you've got issues with the policy, but the same standpoint, take advantage of this. These are 40% off leads. They always sell out whenever they do this. They go on sale tomorrow, and predominantly a lot of our systems are based in the East Coast, which means they'll go for sale at 12 a.m. Eastern, where if you're over here on the West Coast, that will be 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So the coupon will go active. So take advantage of that 40% off discount. We love discounts. We love sales. We love integrity. On top of that, they've just come out with a health plan for us, which is, I think, thousands of people have signed up so far. It is group style coverage that you would get working at a corporate job, but at the accessibility of being a 1099 self-employed entrepreneur. It is backed by Integrity. There's a whole infrastructure put in place. You can go to integrity.com/health plan. And as long as you're an agent with FFL, you get access to it. Go shop your rates, see if it fits within your family, within your budget, with your needs, look into it. But they've spent a lot of money creating additional resources and assets on top of Integrity Connect and on top of our lead structure and on top of the E&O to create a health plan for our agents, for the hundreds of thousands of agents that are affiliated with Integrity, something to actually offer them that's a significantly better price than what they're finding out there in the marketplace at large. So thank you to Integrity for continuing to invent and push the needle. And thank you everybody that are continuing to push the needle here at FFL. GetYourInsuranceLicense.com. Love talking about these guys, seeing continual increase in pass rates coming out of them. We love Excel. I always say this. We love Excel. We're grateful for our partnership with them, but some people just need a little bit extra coaching. This company has 40 hours a week of live training that you can plug in at any single time and work through a section that you're not getting, that you're struggling with, to make sure that you pass that first time. I always often joke about the guys that run those training calls at this company. They can pass any state insurance license in 22 minutes. They're very proud of themselves, and we're grateful to have them as partners. If you're looking for a free option, Excel, reach out to your upline manager. We can get you into your coursework for free. We cover that cost, but this coursework is $200. And with our buying power and scale, we're able to reduce that down to $39. So you get access to that low discounted rate because you're with FFL. But choose them both out. But if you're helping agents get licensed, this is the one that I'm using now. So Lead Champ Pro, we love our relationship and partnership with Lead Champ Pro. They have done a tremendous job of continuing to push the needle in CRM automation. As you ascend to the top levels of production, you're going to go through, and I'll cover this, the Insurance Sales Guide. If you haven't grabbed that, insurancesalesguide.com, it's a free resource that we created, about 100+ pages of scripts and leads and rebuttals and all kinds of valuable things that you would find as an agent, an elite agent or a brand new agent, learning more about this industry. But one of the things we talk about is you start out, any warm body, that doesn't cost any money to have a conversation with, is your first lead source, all the way up to buying leads consistently, doing online campaigns, and doing online campaigns at the highest level, which is where those leads come into a CRM that's branded to you using AI conversational tactics. And that's the future, right? I was talking to Andrew just last night. We were talking about the market and talking about the industry, and that many of these top execs in software from Palantir, Anthropic, OpenAI are talking about there will be a line in the sand for you guys. If I'm going heavy here, well, I'm trying to, I'm lifting your educational base. There's a line in the sand now from what was and what will be. And the line in the sand is, does the software have AI incorporated in it? Meaning all of our tech and software and things that I've used up until today is generally just static software that I can use and I can create and I can do where my data is. And then now in the future, all future software that is going to be created will have an AI-backed brain to protect, to think, and analyze, to answer questions. And all software from today, not even today, from probably last year forward, will have AI and infrastructure. And we're not getting away from it. I'm using chat every day to ask questions and try to, win debates with my wife and figure out, recipes and workouts and vitamins and all kinds. I mean, it's an unbelievable resource what AI has created for us. And the best producers are now using that in business. And that's what Lead Champ does. There's many other great CRMs, but my favorite is Lead Champ. Why? I know the guys, I trust the guys, and they get results. And their AI engine, they sent me an email, said in June, We closed from our AI engine 2,789 bookings across 12,000 contacts. A 23.2% conversion rate came across their active agent base. That's up from 2,451 bookings and a 19% a 19% conversion rate in May. On fewer contacts, they got higher conversion. Means the engine is booking on the same lead flow more appointments. They had 14 days, so there was 100 appointments booked by AI in June, their first ever 100+ day in the month, and they peaked at 126 appointments booked on AI. And they foresee in July having 3,000 appointments booked by AI. Meaning you're calling, you're recruiting, you're training. What you should be doing, right? The highest commission rate is on your own pen. Julius knows that. But the second highest commission rate comes from what you can get, what you can accumulate by building an agency. And that's what we want to focus on as fast as we can. So to put yourself in a position where you can put your money out in the marketplace, generate leads, and they come into a CRM and the CRM books an appointment with them. And all you got to do is show up on time, let the CRM do the fault. That's the future. And so that incorporates AI. I love Lead Champ. Whatever you're using, use it. But the top producers are not getting there with a Google Sheet and an Android, okay? And if you're tough financially right now, bet on yourself, right? Invest in yourself is the only place where you can guarantee a positive return. Invest in your brain, invest in your training. I'm not saying go invest in a $30,000 course to walk across hot coals in Fiji. I'm saying invest in more leads, invest in good tech, invest in staff, invest in your brain, give up other things, give up your hobbies, give up everything, right? I got to 260 not investing in my business, only in my business. Now I'm significantly smaller because I've spent more time now investing in myself that I don't need to invest into my business because I've optimized it. That's your goal. But in the beginning, where many of you are, is it's giving up all this stuff that you think you've deserved in your third month in this business and pushing hard to make it happen, to create a system where this becomes duplicatable. That's what Julius has. And we're going to talk about that here in about 2 minutes. So Lead Champ Pro, connect with them. Dominican Republic, it was fantastic. It's coming up. Julius was just in Puerto Rico. Maybe he'll tell us about that, how wonderful that trip was to win. Ignite is coming up. I talk about it every week. Get yourself registered, igniteevent.com. I will tell you this right now. I was texting with Sean this morning and too many texts. I'm sorry. There it is. Current stats. 1,788 English, 675 Spanish. So 2,400-ish people are already registered for Ignite in Florida. It's going to be incredible. We're expecting no less than 5,000. Meet and greet the night before. We'll have cornhole. We'll have ping pong. We'll have concessions open. All the carriers, all the vendors will be there. You can interact with them. And then we'll start bright and early on Thursday, the 10th. September. And so get your Airbnbs, get your hotels booked, and we'll have a full day training followed, capping it off that night with a Latino event with, we're expecting over 1,000, maybe 2,000 Latinos to be at the event. But if you're a Latino that wants to sit in the main event, we're going to rent, I think, 1,000 headsets where you can listen to the English speakers because we're going to have translation. Like, we're investing. This is going to be, I don't know, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 event. And Natasha, what do we charge for it? Zero. We charge no money because we just want you to get there. And the only excuse to be the one between your ears. And when you get rid of the one between your ears, incredible things can happen. Moving on. 1,000 lead giveaway. Get subscribed to my YouTube channel. We're giving away $1,000 to subscriber. Our subscribers have jumped hundreds since we launched this thing. Just something fun, but we have, we get thousands and thousands and thousands of views a day. But what's interesting is YouTube shows you, and the majority of our viewers, like 68% of them, are non-subscribers. So if you just click the subscribe button, then boom, all of a sudden now you get access to the information, and boom, I'm going to put you in a $1,000 lead giveaway that we're going to draw in about 2 weeks. So, and also this is come to fruition. It is live now, 2,100 views in 24 hours. Blown away and grateful to the response. I'm beyond grateful to Natasha and Jackson, my team that helped me put this that did the work. I just talked. But if you've seen it, drop a 1 in the chat below. If you haven't seen it, go watch it after this call because Julius is going to be phenomenal. But I did my absolute best to tell our story as efficiently and effective as possible and put you guys in a position where if you do want to grow a business, if you do see a future for yourself here, past the point of just selling insurance and impacting and empowering other people, that you now have a resource and a tool in which you can share our message and then just answer questions, right? Because 3 things happen when you send them a video. 1, they don't watch it. Great, not coachable, next. 2, they watch it and they go, buy leads? Sell insurance? I don't want to do that. Perfect. They watch the video, not interested. And the 3rd thing happens, they watch the video and they have some questions. That's where you come in, and that's who you want to talk about. And that's why you want to use in recruiting a triangle between you, your prospect, and a tool. And my goal is that this tool is now the most effective and most efficient tool for you to share our story, find the right interested people, and then get them into class, get them plugged into our system, and start to grow your business to change your family's life. So I appreciate all of the effort from my team, and I'm excited for those of you out there that are going to share it, find new interested people. They're going to say, I didn't even know this is possible. I didn't know this is what you could make this kind of money selling insurance. I didn't know you guys had leads. I know you had great training and free support and boot camps and a shadow system and live dial training and free Integrity Connect tools and all the resources that we provide. People are looking for what we have. So loved it with the title they came up with, the $1 billion company most people have never heard about, and how you can become a part of it. So check it out if you haven't. It's on our YouTube channel. Get subscribed on our YouTube channel. And last but not least, we're done. Okay, now final commercial for partying. A party is more fun with more people. Take this link, Join America Live, and drop it in your group chats, your WhatsApps, your Telegrams, your GroupMes, your Discords, your Slacks, and say, a $1 million per year producer is about to come on and teach how he does it. It may or may not be for you, but it's for me. And if it is for you, come check it out and listen, because Julius is about to drop the hammer about I see you down there. Is about to drop the hammer, and I would love for you guys to be the impact. And I always give this line. Alex Hormozi teaches about how you gain status from a group is not by taking or asking, it's by giving. And when you go drop in a group chat or your WhatsApps, your Telegrams, or your Discords, and you say $1 million producer's coming on to teach what he says and how he does it, people go, you're someone who gives value. You're someone who tries to help everybody come get better. You're someone who cares about others more than themselves. And in the big picture of life, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. So share it out there. Get some more people on here to watch. Julius is about to drop it. Without further ado, let's bring him on.
What's up, Grady?
Just living the dream, bro. How are you today?
Hey, I'm living the dream with you.
All right. Well, let me give you an intro, and then we will we'll get into this thing. So,
Cool.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the American Agency Call. I am super excited to have my friend Julius Gilgur on with us today. Julius and I go ways back, and we'll talk about that in about a second. But to talk about whom he is for a second is someone who has been in the insurance industry for a minute. And when we first met, you were working at another company, selling IULs, wearing suits all the time. It's nice that it's casual Thursday, and you get to wear whatever you want to sell insurance at an insanely high level. This dude wears suits all the time. And now he doesn't have to wear them at all, unless he wants to. But when we met and started interacting, we talked about FFL, we looked at it, and he came in and started hitting the cover off the ball and hasn't looked back. And now he's a five-time Red Jacket earning Hall of Fame producer. This year will be his best year by far. He's already over $500,000 issue paid, and will issue well over $1 million and earn our coveted gold jacket, probably end up being top 5, top 10 producer in our entire company, which this year will eclipse $1 billion in sales. And now he's going to talk about what he does. And so I want to pass it to you for a second, and then I got something to share. But now, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm blessed. I'm grateful to be here, Grady. It's good to do this with you again. And, I'm just grateful, man, and honored to really be able to share with people that what I've learned along my journey, so I can give back and help the new person reach back, help them out, lift them up, and really make an impact with this organ, with everybody. Right. So that's really the goal. But yeah, man, doing great.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're going to jump right into the training after we share something. And we're going to call it Grady and Julius Day 1. And so today, as we sit here, as we sit here in 2026, I need you guys to understand, like, we've been here. We met in 2018. And so let's just start going through the slides. We met in 2018. This was a convention that we were at in 2018 with Andrew and Sean in Vegas, I believe. We were at a convention, getting ready, getting our business going. We can go through them as we go. And we got shortly after that, we got our first office together. There's Julius training live. Just keep going. There we go. There's Julius training.
That was the cockroach office.
That's right. That was a cockroach office. $800 a month or something, or $1,500 a month it was. Julius doing our first opportunity video. If you zoom in on that, we were talking about the company. He's wearing suits again. Now he's comfortable. It's casual Julius. And we had this, remember Reliance Shield? And then we had the big whiteboard. That whiteboard was melamine from like the Home Depot that you could write on with a whiteboard, and then you'd have to scratch it off a Scotch-Brite Scrubby, but it would work. We were doing trainings back in the day. One of my favorite videos we ever did was our
objection training
video. Bro, I mean, we crushed that thing. It's still out there somewhere. So I have a lot of pictures of you.
Yeah, you do.
I had like 60.
I remember that. That's when we were just moving into the office, putting up the Americo banner.
Back in the day, Americo sent us some banner. Then Julius, there's another training maybe a year later where Julius was training on stage.
Yep.
I was very excited, giving Julius a hug. And then this was when we started, we did some senior citizen homes, and we got all the brochures. See, you guys don't know. They're like, oh, we got flip-flops and we just, how many Red Bulls can we drink? We had to drive, I always joke about, across town, uphill both ways in the snow, and hand out brochures and give out paper apps. But this is another meeting we did. Then we moved into our new office. We had bought a bunch of cameras and big TV and all that stuff. Oh, and then this is Julius and I dressed up as cowboys. This is a convention one year. We had
do you remember the rodeo?
Yeah, it was a rodeo convention.
Oh my gosh.
So we dressed up like cowboys. I don't remember. This might have been Vegas. We were working out.
We had a workout before we went out and got to work. Yep.
Oh, this is look at those young babies on there. There's Nina and Hayden. If any of you guys know Nina and Hayden, which should be all of you. Me and Julius back in the day. Then us with at the Dream City Center in Los Angeles with our boy Steve G.
That's when I got egged by Sean from up above. Remember that?
Sean was in an experimental phase of his time right there. Hanging out with Julius again. I think we got pizza shortly after that. And then
we've been through it.
I like to hug Julius a lot. Meeting in Vegas, maybe with Trey.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, another meeting. Look at us looking fancy. And then that Julius's new office. It was his old office.
That was the PV office.
So all that to say, like, what's cool about this business is where we came from, what we've accomplished, but also where we're going. And dude, to see you back in just elite production, we both dabbled in real estate for a second. That was frustrating. But now to see that there's no money like insurance money. And to say that humbly, right? But we're protecting clients who requested the coverage, protecting leads and converting the clients who requested the coverage. And the carriers would sell the insurance without us if they could, but they can't because it's a human experience and it's a human interaction needs to happen to have a conversation with Bob and Mary and talk to Mary about what would happen if Bob died yesterday. And that's our responsibility. And that's why we get compensated the level we do. We don't apologize for it. We work very hard to earn it. But to see you back here, dude, in the elite flow that you are in, to see you topping Andrew's leaderboard, who's 50% of the company, multiple months back to back, I couldn't be prouder and I couldn't be more stoked for you because all this is going to then turn into team production because your skill set is so high. So I'll love to kick it back to you. I mean, we can, reminisce for a few more minutes if you want about how you got here and what you've done. But I'd love also, get into what you say, because that's why there's people here. So we got hundreds of people on right now and they're going to watch thousands. They're going to watch the replay. What does this guy say that's different than what I'm saying? And it's usually not that much, but there's some tweaks that are different. So pass it to you for a little bit, bro.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. That was actually a cool surprise. I totally didn't expect that, but it was cool to kind of reminisce and go through it. I think the lighting just went off in this office. I don't know what just happened, but Lighting changed. There we go. We're back. All right. Anyway, so, dude, we've been through it all, right? Coming in here at 2018, I was broke. I was broken. I was trying to figure it out. I was in insurance. I didn't have a lead-based system. I had to work a referral-based system, which was a model that was literally killing me from the inside out. And so coming here, I had hopes, I had aspirations, I had big goals, big dreams. And, I've been in this business for a long time, Grady, and it's completely changed my life. And when I say it changed my life, it's changed everything about me, from my mindset, from who I am, to how I operate, to how I'm a father, to all my relationships, everything that I would have imagined. And I learned this, and I think you might have actually shared this with me, but being not really just in this business, but being an entrepreneur is the best self-development program anyone can ever be a part of. And so if you guys are an entrepreneur, this is something that's going to shape you. It's going to shift you. And I really want to help the new people, Grady, because at the end of the day, we can sit here and reminisce, and it's going to be a good old time, but we can do that on our own time, right? Like, we're here to work. We're here to help people. We're here to teach people. And I want to share some things with them. So the first thing I want to share, Grady, is this. One of the things I realized through my journey is there was a lot of moments that were tough. There were a lot of moments that really push you and challenge you and stretch you. And the one thing that I've come to realize, and I hear this and it repeats in my head, is it's not a lack of, it's the lack of confidence that kills people's dreams, not the lack of competence, right? So the lack of confidence that people have in themselves is what typically I've found kills people's dreams, not their competence. Because especially in this business, Grady, because you and I both know this is a simple business. Like, it's not rocket science, right? Like, you don't need an education. You don't need a degree. You need to come in and learn some word tracks. You need to learn some underwriting. You need to learn about some basic products, and you need to learn how to communicate. Right? But if your confidence is in the toilet, then it's going to get in the way of you just operating in a very competent manner. And so most people, almost everybody can do this, right? But it's not for everyone, and we know that. And so, I think that's the first thing, is be confident in yourself. We learn from experience, and don't overcomplicate these things, right? Like, the things that we're going to go through, and I'm going to share with you guys a simple 7-step framework. So check this out, Grady. I've created a simple 7-step framework that no matter what lead type you're calling or receiving, because now we do inbound as well, that you can follow for the most part. And if you're in this framework, you're going to have a successful call flow, which more times than not will lead to helping a client, putting them in a good situation, or just having a good end result. And then the one thing I would say is, don't worry about the outcome. Divorce the outcome, marry the process, right? The process in this is, how do I get better? How do I improve my word tracks? How do I do better at connecting with people? And how do I just improve what I do every single day? And then the outcome will come. Because at the end of the day, dude, in the beginning, and you can attest to this, you remember how up and down I was with my emotions, and like, people are hanging up on me, people are slamming the door on me, all this stuff, right? But look where we're at now compared to that. Like, and all that stuff that we worried about, like, most of the time people, like, we don't even remember what we were stressed about 90 days ago. Like, if you think about, like, what were you stressed about 90 days ago? Most people are gonna be like, I don't know, right? So the stuff we stress about today doesn't even matter in the future, right? So what are we focused on? And so I want to share the framework, and then we can kind of open it up from there to, like, any specifics, whether it's word tracks or whatnot, to make it tangible. And that way, some people that are listening to this training today or in the future, they can take that away and use it on the very next call they take. Does that sound good?
Amazing.
Okay. Before I do that, I want to ask people to follow me. If you guys find this valuable, follow me. I'm on Instagram, on TikTok. It's at Julius G. So it's my handle is it's Julius G. My handle is it's Julius G. Follow me. I'm going to be dropping a bunch of stuff, but today I'm going to share with you my 7-step framework that helps you close more deals than not. So first one is your opening. Okay. Step 1, Grady, is your opening, your intro, and your why, right? no matter what kind of lead, mortgage protection, final expense, IUL, you got to open the call. Okay. If they're requesting information, why did they request information, right? Bob and Mary, hey, you submitted this online in my Facebook ad. If it's for an IUL, you can talk about, hey, Grady, this is Julius. I'm getting back to you about that IUL request you sent in online on Facebook. What caught your attention about the IUL? Was it the living benefits, the life insurance, or the cash value aspect of it, right? If it's mortgage protection, you ask, hey, I see you responded to our social media ad online about learning about mortgage protection. Who are you looking to protect if something happens to you, right? I want to get into the why, right? Because here's what I've learned in my journey here in the insurance business is if you don't understand the why, you can't solve the problem. Let me repeat that. If you don't understand the why, you can't solve the problem, right? And so if you start off with an intro, your opening, what you're calling about, and you get right into why. What were they looking for? Who are they looking to protect? Why is that important? Pull out some emotion. As the agent on the line, what they're interested in. And I want to talk about what they're interested in because nothing else matters, right? What's important to you, Bob and Mary? Who's important to you, right? So regardless of the lead type, that's what you want to start with is the why. From there, step 2, we always go into credibility, okay? So we go into credibility, talking about we're brokers. We work with over 20 different carriers. We're like the Expedia of insurance. We can do the shopping for you. We're going to make this super quick and simple. Share your license with them and then set the stage, right? This is no different than when you and I were in the field, right? We're just doing it virtually, right? That's same thing, right? Literally the same thing, right? And so now I'm setting the stage. Hey, I'm going to go through a series of questions. I'm going to see what you can qualify for. I'll explain the programs to you. I'll go over your options. And then whichever option you select is best for you, Grady, I'm just going to help you submit that. It just takes a couple minutes. It's super quick and easy. I want it to sound easy. I want it to sound effortless. I want it to be very, I want zero resistance from the client if I can do that, right? Lower that sales resistance. I'm increasing the credibility, something we've trained on for years. So we're doing that in step 2. Step 3, we're going right into client discovery, okay? I'm going into the client discovery because I want to know everything about the client, their health, their income, their mortgage, their rent, their IRAs, their 401ks, right? We've done tons of training on how to do a client discovery. That thing doesn't change. That's like the Bible of what we do, right? Like it's like, hey, if you can't ask the client inventory questions and you don't get that information, nothing else matters after that. So we're going through step 3 is client discovery. We ask all the same questions we always do. We always include the golden question because that's how you find annuity opportunities. So that's step 3 is client discovery. Step 4, once I go through client discovery and the medical financial inventory grading, now I have a general idea on what I'm pitching on, right? I know if they can, for the most part, qualify for an IUL, a term, or a final expense, right? Now, I might not know which carrier yet, but I know which product I'm going to be pitching based on what I found out in that client inventory. And so now what I'm going to do is step 4 is I'm going to highlight and go over the program and product benefits and explain it to them. And I make it super easy. Okay. So whether it's term, whether it's whole life or IUL, I'm explaining them in a very simplistic manner. Right. And usually one thing that I've learned in the virtual space that really helped me is before I go through the product and program explanation, Grady, I actually have them grab a pen and paper. And the way I word it is, hey, man, Bob and Mary, I'm going to ask you to take some notes as I go through this. Do you have a pen and paper in front of you, or do you need a minute to grab that? Very gentle, very soft, right? Not go grab it. It's, hey, I'm going to ask you to do this. Do you have it in front of you, or do you need a minute? I'm giving them an option. And generally they're like, all right, I got it. Or yeah, give me a minute. I'm going to go get it. Cool. Take your time. I'm paid by the hour. No big deal. Right? Like they don't know. Right? Okay, cool. They're going to grab a pen and paper. Now I'm having them write down the main benefits. I keep it super simple. Right? So they write down program benefits. They jot it down on their paper. They got a good understanding of what the program is going to look like and what it'll do for them. From there, step 5 is where I'm going to put them on hold and I'm going to underwrite the case. So, hey, Bob and Mary, hold on for a minute. The next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place you on hold for 2 minutes. I'm going to go shop the different companies to see where I can get you the best rate and who's going to give you the best rate. And then I'm going to come back on the line and I'm going to go through those options with you. Whichever you select, Bob and Mary, that's the one we're going to submit. It's super quick and easy. Just takes a minute or two, no big deal. And then I hold on, don't hang up. And I put them on hold. Why am I doing that? So number one, what I've done through step 5 is I've made mention of no carriers. All I've done is I've identified the why. I told them what I do. I told them what we're going to do. Now I'm putting them on hold. I've explained the program, and now I'm going to put them on hold to find which carrier they can get approved with, who's going to give them the best rate, and who I'm going to come back and pitch. Simple, right? Step 6 is now I come back on the line and I'm going to present the options, always 3 options. And I always pitch them top down, right? Same thing we've always teach. So, hey, Bob and Mary, you still got that pen and paper? Great. I'm going to go ahead and go through these options with you. Go ahead and write them down. And I'm going to start with the highest one first, and I'm going to work my way down. And like I said, whichever works best for you will help you submit it. Super easy. And then every time I mention an option, so the first option is your highest one. You know, that one's $300,000. That one's $150 a month. That one will help you, you know, pay that mortgage off completely, etc. But what I'm doing is when I present the option, Grady, the framework is you have to tie it back to the why. So if I'm presenting an IUL or I'm presenting a mortgage protection or I'm presenting final expense, whatever those 3 options are, I'm always tying it back to the why. So it brings up the emotion of who they're looking to protect, why they requested the information, and why this is important to them. And then number 7 is I close. Now, there is a few things that I've incorporated over the years that have helped me close at a higher pace. So after I present the options, I like to do a simple tie down that has really helped, I think, get more buy-in. And I say this. So let's just say I went through the 3 options. I say, now, Bob and Mary, one thing that I tell every client that I work with is this, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this, that having something is always better than having nothing. Am I right? Almost every time they're like, yeah, exactly. And so what I say is go with the one that you're most comfortable with. As long as we can get you approved, we can always add more later. We do annual reviews every year, so we can always add more if we need to. But if we could get you approved, which of these would be best to help protect the mortgage for Mary? And I tie it back to the why, right? So what did I do? I pre-framed that something's better than nothing to try to take nothing off the table. And so that way, if they're trying to get me with nothing, it's like, well, you just said something's better than nothing and you got nothing. So I'm trying to, that's why I lead with before I go for the close. So I incorporated that. And then, you know, assuming they say yes, we go into it. If they say no, I handle objections. Okay. Now, one thing that I think is super, super, super important in a virtual space, Grady, that we didn't have the luxury of doing face-to-face is how we pivot. And when you're virtual, one of the key things that I've learned is speed is of the essence, because people don't want to be on the phone for 2, 3, 4 hours, right? It was hard enough to stay in a home for 2 hours, let alone be on the phone for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So without getting kicked out. And so here it's all about speed. And so one of the things that I found that works for me and that I teach our agents to do is when we're offering the presentation or we go through the options, I'm not even talking about carrier. Why? Because if that carrier declines, I don't want to hype up one carrier, get a decline, and then I got to go backpedal and take my foot out of my mouth to then go try to sell another carrier. Does that make sense? So I just avoid that conversation, Grady. And instead of even mentioning a carrier, I'm just presenting the death benefit, the premium, and the 3 options for those, right? And then once we're in an application, I'm going through it. If we get to this, on the application, we get to the 6-digit code and we get a decline or a not favorable. Hey, looks like my system is going to send you another code, Grady. Looks like we're trying to find the carrier that's going to give you the best fit. That way we can make sure you get approved and get the best rate. So I'm going to send you another code. So what did I do? Behind the scenes, I've started another application and I've proactively sent the client another code because the system is doing it, right? So the system is sending you another code, not Julius, right? So I take it off of me and I put it on the system. I got to get the lighting back. So you take it off of me, you put it on the system. So the system is sending you another code, Grady. Go ahead and read me back that 6-digit code. So now what I've simply done is I've brought good information to my customer, not bad information saying, oh, America or Transamerica or whoever you're trying to run with didn't accept you. We got to try somebody else. Because when you do that, now the client's like, wait, why are you declining me? Why is this not working? Now they're on a whole nother avenue and tangent that takes you off the rail of getting the sale and getting them covered, which is the -- priority on a call. And so that's the pivot that we use that allows people to go from one carrier to another carrier to another carrier to finally get them approved. Now, if we get them approved with, say, a second or third carrier, but we pitch them the first one and the price is different, the way we handle that, Grady, is like this. All right, so let's say we send two codes. The third code is the final, the one we finally have a good rating on. I'll say, hey, Bob and Mary, so great news. Looks like we have a company that you might be pre-approved with. They're named X. And I'm going to explain that. Then I'm going to introduce the company because now we got a pre-approval. So that's when you want to introduce the company. And now the rate has changed just a little bit, but good news is you're pre-approved. So let's just look at the new options and figure out which one's going to be best for you. So go ahead and scratch those numbers out. And now, that top option went from $120 to $136. The second option went from $100 to, $115. The third option went from $80 to $96. Now, of these options, which one is going to be better for you if we can get you approved? Right. And so then boom, they pick one and then you close the app up. So that's a key thing in the virtual space of how do you pivot effectively with bringing the client good news and be efficient at the same time. And that's helped me close a lot more deals and just really get through these calls a little bit quicker. So, but that's the 7-step process. Number 1, opening intro why. 2, credibility, setting the table. 3, client discovery. 4, program, product benefits and explanation. 5, you underwrite the case and you put them on hold. 6, present the options, make sure you tie them to the why. 7, you close that bad boy up and you make some money and help a family.
Bro, can we get some JGs in the chat below to show Julius some love for just dropping an absolute sales masterclass on us? Dude, that was so good. So good. Thank you. And I love your care, right? Because if it's an IUL lead and you go hard on IUL and they get declined from your IUL, and now you've got to now pivot to whole life or accidental, but you oversold the IUL, you lost control because you gave so much power. Guys, clients live on a road of best intentions, but sometimes they forget the medication that they're taking and the doctor they saw last month, and that they did have a heart attack 3 years ago because they feel so good now. But all that is in our world where health is the barometer for what they can get approved for, then that is such an integral factor that you need to take care of. And Julius does a tremendous job here, client discovery, then talking about different benefits. And so there was a couple of things. So when you present options, 3 options, top down, highest, middle, lowest, but tied it back to the why. How do you describe that? So how do you do that part right there? If we're tying it back to the why, Bob and Mary's why is each other. How are you going to do that?
So it depends on the call, right? So if we're talking mortgage protection, predominantly most of my leads are mortgage protection leads. So we'll talk about that. I mainly do mortgage protection and IUL. So let's just say it's each other, right? And it really depends on the situation. If we're talking mortgage protection, I sometimes will focus on one versus the other because of the income difference, right? So like if I'm in a mortgage protection conversation and Bob makes, majority of the income and Mary makes almost no money, right? She's on Social Security and maybe has $1,000 a month in income. I'm going to pitch Bob, right? But if they're even and we're talking mortgage protection, they both make, say, $3,000 a month. And I'm going through the options. I'm going to say, all right, Bob, so the way this is going to work is Earlier on, you mentioned that, hey, if you passed away, you want to make sure that there's mortgage protection in place for Mary so she doesn't have to lose the house. There's no financial burdens, and she can decide and have time whether she's going to keep the house or sell the house, right? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go through 3 different options, each of which is going to give her more time to cover the mortgage payments. I'm talking equity protection, payment protection. I pitch it as payment protection, Grady, not equity, because for people, the monthly payment is more tangible than the equity, right? So I call it payment protection. I don't call it equity protection. So this is going to help Mary pay the payment of the mortgage for 2 years or 24 months, 18 months, or 12 months after you pass away, Bob. And so that way, if you wanted to leave her 2 years to cover the mortgage protection, that's going to be $250. Let's just say hypothetically, that's going to provide her a lump sum of, we'll say it's a $40,000 amount, right? Hypothetically, that's the top option. The second one's going to give her 18 months of payment protection, Bob, to cover that payment on the mortgage, so she doesn't fall behind, foreclose on the property, and lose all the equity. So to cover her for a year and a half, that's going to give her $30,000 in a tax-free lump sum amount. That one's $160 a month. Or if you want to at least do the minimal just to make sure there's something in place instead of nothing, Bob, to at least cover the first year after you pass, that's going to give her a $20,000 lump sum tax-free amount. That one's going to be $140 a month. And then I just say the same thing for Mary and flip it, right? And then I just go for the close after that. But I always tie it back to the why of what they were looking to do and what they were trying to avoid.
And if it's children, it's to protect the payment for your child. It's for your spouse. It's for your mom, right? That's who is their beneficiary. Who is their why? We're repeating that repeatedly as we're going to, do anything. What's the intentionality behind making the decision? To avoid pain, right? So if I can avoid pain for this person by buying it, Julius is just reminding them that's what this payment is. It's a point of avoidance for their beneficiary.
Yeah,
love it.
And if you're doing mortgage protection in the beginning, the why is the most important thing. So it's like, all right,
yeah,
hey,
I love it. Yeah, give us your mortgage protection open kind of first 30, 60, 90 seconds. How do you do that?
Yeah. So, hey, Bob, Mary, I got your request here for mortgage protection through social media. If something happened to you, these are programs that make sure that if you passed away, it'll help cover that mortgage if something happened to you. Who are you looking to protect if something were to happen to you tomorrow? My wife, Mary. Okay, great. Now, if something did happen to you tomorrow, do you think Mary would keep the house or do you think she'd sell the house? Why am I asking that question? Because I want them to paint the picture in the future. What are they going to do? Sometimes families have already thought it out. They're going to keep it. Okay, great. So mortgage protection is designed to make sure Mary can keep that property. That way, after you pass, there's no financial burden. She can keep it, transition successfully. If they say sell, great. Mortgage protection is going to make sure that the payment is made while after you pass, so they have time to sell the property and not have to, sell the house for pennies on the dollar, and they can get the most bang for their buck and they're not losing the house. I'm not sure if they're going to keep or sell the house, Grady. Totally understand. The great thing about mortgage protection is whether they decide to buy or sell or keep the house, this is going to give them time to make sure that payment is covered. So that way they're not, having any burdens and they're not, losing the property and foreclosing on it. No matter what, perfect. Mortgage protection is exactly that. So when I ask them if they're going to buy or sell, or they're going to keep or sell, perfect. Mortgage protection is going to help exactly with that. And so I always tie it back just like that.
Yeah. Time, keep, sell, rent. It's just, you need some amount of money because they didn't expect to make this payment. Your income is now gone. And that's what this is going to do and replace. Dude, I love mortgage protection. It's just, you've got to go dig into different lead vendors, which is why IULs have taken off. So any final advice on mortgage? But I also love to hear kind of which maybe your open is for IULs, because I know you sell a ton of those, maybe IUL specific open control take.
Yeah, for IULs, I mean, the main thing we do there is when they request information, it's like, hey, I got your request. Hey, this is Julius getting back to you about the request you submitted online to learn more about the IUL. What kind of caught your attention, Grady? Was it the cash value? Was it the living benefits, or was it the life insurance? What really caught your attention there? So what I'm doing there is I'm asking which of those 3 things is really most important to them without asking them, right? So it's like, hey, Grady, what caught your attention? Was it the cash value, the living benefits, or the life insurance component of the program? Oh, the cash value. Oh, perfect. I help a lot of people just like yourself. Typically you're calling truckers, contractors, some sort of demographic. So if you're on a trucker campaign or contractor or union or whatever, you tie it back to them if they're one of those demographics and say that that's who you help, right? So if you're dealing with truckers, it's like, oh, are you, yeah, we have a, sorry, lost my train of thought. Yeah, we have that going on social media right now where we're helping tons of truckers. Are you a trucker? Yeah. Are you a long overhaul, long haul trucker, or you kind of do more local routes? I do more local routes. Okay, great. We help a lot of people like yourself make sure that they have a plan in place to make sure if something helped or happened to you, your family's protected. And then I go into whether it's cash value, life insurance, or living benefits. And we tailor the pitch to whatever attracted to them.
Perfect. That's cool, dude. I always ask, for a top producer like yourself, it doesn't matter how much we sell. It matters how much we keep. What goes on the books is great, but what stays on the books is what matters. And so what are things that you do towards the end of the call, after the call, follow-up campaigns? What are things that you do to help solidify that sale and make sure it stays on the books, client's comfortable, but also isn't going to go to, we start looking for a mattress. All of a sudden we're getting mattress ads, TV ads, there's mattress stores, there's mattresses everywhere, right? The problem though, the mattress, once it's in your house, it's a little difficult to get. How do you make this insurance policy feel like it's a mattress in their house? That was a new analysis for me.
Well, just like you said earlier, a CRM nowadays is everything, right? And so I use a CRM. It's a go high level CRM, no different than just about all the other ones out there. But a few things that we do. Obviously, on the front end, we have text message drips to make sure that they're notified ahead of time so they show up. And then we ask them to confirm their appointment before they even get on the appointment, right? So that way I know if I'm walking into an appointment or not, right? And so I'm at this point with running so much volume, I can't do just one call closes. I work by appointment only. So I have AI that helps set me appointments. I have an appointment setter that helps me set appointments for me as well. So I come into the day, it's packed, and I'm just back to back to back, and I'm selling all day long, right? Then on the back end, after I do make a sale in my CRM, I'm putting in their, the carrier I got them set up with. I put in how much coverage they're getting. I put in their premium and how long the coverage is going to last them, basically all the details. And then there's an automation that sends them a text and an email confirming, hey, congratulations, you're approved, right? So they get that after the call. And then they'll get drips throughout the year of just like birthdays and holidays, just what the CRM has built in. But the one thing that I do, Grady, is, this is something you taught me back in the day, is I still have an assistant. And so I tell them as I get them approved, hey, so a few things that you can expect today, Grady. First off, congratulations on getting approved. So the first thing is within 1 to 2 days, my assistant, Susan, she's going to call you. She's going to reach out to you. She's going to confirm all the information that we got set up for you today. Make sure we didn't screw anything up. So you'll get that confirmation the next day or two. That just makes it real. So there's another person that solidifies, confirms, and affirms what I've said. It's not just Julius. Susan confirms it as well. Then from there, Grady, you're going to get your policy in the mail in the next 7 to 10 business days. When you get that, feel free to text me. Let me know you got it. If you need a review of anything, we can always set up another appointment. But otherwise, if it's all good, it matches exactly like to the T what we talked about, which 99% of the time it does. Go ahead and put that in a safe place. Let your wife, Mary, know where it is. That way, God forbid something happens to you, she doesn't have to go looking for it. She knows where it is. And then Grady, a year from now, we're going to do an annual review. We'll check in, see if we need to make any adjustments. If we want to add some more coverage, we can do it then. Any questions before we wrap up for the day?
Money, smooth, assistant, elevates your business. Good job with that. Okay, so 2 final questions. One, what is to issue the volume you're issuing? You have, let's just be clear, Julius isn't a brand new producer. He has a bulk amount of leads. But those are the word is not expense. That is an investment he's made into his business over years. And now he's got a good quality CRM that he drips on. And we'll talk about the beginning and how was this easy but worth it type philosophy as we close. But what are you spending now on leads? And what would you say to someone that is just trying to buy aged leads or starve their business and buy as little as possible? It's kind of a 2-part question.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, to generate this type of volume, Grady, this is the most I've ever spent in leads. And so, I'm between 12 to 15K a month in lead spend, right? 3K a week, sometimes a little bit more, just really depends. But that's the only answer to submitting so much business, right? Is just more leads, right? And so, back in the day, when I started on age leads. You remember the packet of leads you gave me to start that I magically pulled out some money out of that were, I don't remember how old you're like, how did you pull out another 20K out of that packet? But, most new agents, they have fear, right? As I did, right? Is this going to work? This is a gamble. I'm putting money in on leads and I don't know if it's going to work. Well, I think it's more of perspective. And I think for new agents, if you can take a step back and realize that perspective is everything, especially after you make your first sale or two, because in the beginning, your belief is really low, right? And my belief was super low because I didn't get that first deposit. But once I got that first deposit, that little taste of like, boom, that $1,000 hit my account and, it came within 48 hours. I was like, oh, okay, this is real, right? So once that belief started to elevate and I saw it was real and I successfully had completed the proof of concept for myself, right? So that's the first thing is like, go out there and maybe, your first lead pack, you might buy some age leads and that's okay if that's the position you're in. But I encourage you, I recommend you, I challenge you to invest into a newer lead that is fresher, right? Because there's no lead that's better than a fresh lead. Okay. I don't care what anyone says. I've been doing this for a long time. Lead comes in today, I'm calling them. That's the freshest lead. That's the best lead in my opinion. And so what it does is now obviously you have to have the finances for it, but if you can afford new leads as you're coming in, what it does is it increases your ability to get in front of people and get presentations faster. So you can work on that skill set and that repetition of saying the same thing over and over again, fine-tuning the way you say it, your delivery, your tone, not wording it like this, wording it like that, and noticing that what you say impacts your customer. That's everything. And so I would say, Grady, to me, new leads are the best leads. They have the highest intent. They, they're looking for something, and that desire changes over time, right? Where an age lead, you can still make sales. Don't get me wrong. We have tons of people making money off age leads, but long-term, create a system that drips on you. And when I did this is what shifted my business, and you helped me with it. So I thank you for that because I had to get out of my own way. It's kind of the law of the lid, right? My lid was here. Your lid was significantly higher because you came before me, right? And because of that, you educated me. What's up with this lighting in here, man? And so, because I listened to you and I took a step, a step forward, a leap of faith that I was scared to do. And you're like, dude, invest in a mortgage protection campaign, put your money on the line, do what you need to do to get these new leads, and you're going to change your business. And as soon as I did that and I automated my lead flow when we were doing direct mail back in the day, that's what changed my business. And to this day, I tell every agent this is the sooner you can automate your lead flow, the sooner you're going to systematize and automate your cash flow. And if you don't do that, well, you're going to have inconsistent results. So I think that's kind of really where I'm at with
huge,
leads.
dude. That was huge. I remember you were issuing 12 to 18 on age leads.
Yep.
Then you got new leads and you're issuing 30 to 40. And you were probably, and this is the thing, like more agents are like, well, I'm going to just get age leads. This is all I got. I know, but you got access to a credit card and you got shit in your garage you can sell. And you've got, if you're that destitute, reach out to a family member and get them to invest $1,000 or $2 in your new business and tell them you'll pay them back. And now you've got your family and you got a family member that you're now going to push yourself to, but you will work less with new leads than you will with age leads. And you'll sell less with and work harder with aged, and you'll work less and make more with new. And that's a philosophy, right? I mean, dude, for you to be in a position where your pre-sale text confirmation and you work by confirmed appointment only, issuing over $100,000, spelling 15,000 spending $15,000 a month on leads. Now, granted, those are gigantic numbers for most people. That's more than most people can comprehend to make. I got it. We know, but don't you want to be in a company where this is an option? We've got people that are pioneering what is possible. Can you just bet on yourself for a second? He'll spend $180,000 this year on leads at 100% comp and issue paying $1 million. He's going to clear $600,000-$700,000. Pretty good. Pretty good, you know, but Grady, I don't have any money. You live in America. You know, you live in America, right? If you were back, where are you from? Latvia? My boy.
From Latvia, baby.
Latvia.
We had to wait online for bread.
Yeah, my boy's waiting in line for bread, and you live in America. and you're telling me you can't come with $1,000 for leads? Like, okay. You can tell the size of a man by the wall that gets in their way and keeps them from what they want to accomplish. I got it. I know. I got it. I've been stressed. I pulled up to my front door and hit the garage door clicker, and the garage didn't go up because I didn't pay the power bill. I've been there. We've all got stressed. Julius has been there. Julius got hustled by a local dude for 50 racks and had to go to war. And finally, we don't. That's another story another time.
It was yeah.
But he came out alive, and we're better for it. But dude, if I go all the way back to your first thing you said, and I think this is by far one of the greatest lines I've ever heard on these calls. Lack of confidence kills more dreams than competence. We got a bunch of highly educated people on the products and whole life and Eagle Select non-smoker benefit and how the crediting rates work and the floors and the caps of a fixed index annuity, but they won't pick up the phone and call a stranger who requested them to call. Lack of confidence. So figure it out, guys. Grab your matzahs and figure it out. Figure out what you need to do. Chug a Red Bull. My little dude is in his first jiu-jitsu competition on Saturday. And I'm like, honey, we got to get him a Red Bull and some pixie dust beforehand. He's going to go out there crazy because he's wrestling against some kid who's 6 wins, no losses. And this is his first competition. I'm like, I love him, but I think he's going to get rocked. But I'm like, what if we just give him some liquid confidence? Is it appropriate to give an 8-year-old Red Bull? Probably not. But to know it, I'm moving on here. But that's what I'm saying here. What do you need to get some confidence? Like this isn't, I'm being dead serious. We would say like, and I can't share it. I'll share this on a non-call. But things you do to like loosen your nerves so you just can make some phone calls. And dude, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for the future, dude. This 7-step framework was insane. I hope people go back and watch it and take notes. And those that do will grow, and those that won't will stay the same. And that's their choice, not ours. But what's some final thoughts, final advice, final goals, anything you want to share with us as we close out this call, bro?
Yeah, a few things. I think the one thing is, and I realized this in my journey, Grady, is like at the end of the day, each and every one of us, if you're watching this call now, you're watching this call a year from now, or so on and so forth, we have to pay the price. We don't get to where we want to go without paying the price. And it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be getting outside of our comfort zone and continuously stretching that. And so for the new agent, whether you're, fearful, you've been doing this for a month and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, you got to pay the price, right? And none of this, while it's simple, comes easy. Grady, I didn't get here with ease, right? It was simple in terms of what we do, but at the end of the day, we have to grow through things to get to where we want to go. And so I'm grateful that I got to go through those things and I got to grow through those things to be the man I am, the business person I am, and the father that I am today. And so now my goal, production's great. Don't get me wrong. The money's great. Helping the clients are great. That's amazing. Okay. For the longest time, and this is my own price that I'm now having to pay for whatever reason, this is my time. Right. And so now is my time. And so now it's like, okay, we're going to start scaling back on production. The reason why is because I know I can't continue to build an organization and train men and women to change their lives by selling insurance virtually if I'm on the phone all the time selling to clients. And so I'm going to scale back on production so I can scale up our organization. And so I'm super excited. I'm partnered with some amazing people on our team. We're doing some pretty cool stuff that we didn't do in the past. So last time we were growing through literally sheer brute force and just muscling our way through, right? And this time I've partnered with some really amazing people, some really smart people that's helping us on our organization. We're operationalizing every aspect of our business. Every process is buttoned up with, from getting started in the business to making money. We have people in their first 30 days clearing $30K a month, right? Like just coming out the gate swinging with no industry experience. They know how to do some sales, but now we're teaching them at a high level so they can come out and find success and be profitable fast. We're building out tech. We're building out systems, and we're doing things in a way where we literally can take John, who knows nothing about insurance, maybe they got some sales experience, and within 30 days, they're right in business and they're profitable. And so I'm excited to help a lot of people, Grady. I'm excited to help people change their lives like you did for me. So thank you. I'm honored. I'm privileged. I'm blessed to be in business with you every single day. And dude, I know within 6 to 9 months from now, we are definitely going to 4X our growth. We're going to be over $1 million a month as an organization. And I know it without a shadow of doubt. And so if someone's watching this and they're thinking about joining and they need a mentor or coach and they want to partner up with the team, holla at your boy. We're here.
Holla at your boy. Julius, bro, I appreciate you, dude. I'm so excited for the future for you. Thank you for setting a new standard and coming in and just being being someone we can point at and go, look what he's doing. That's what's possible. Are you going to invest as much in leads? Are you going to work as hard? Are you going to sacrifice as much? You're going to develop your skills as much as he has? It's your choice. But the thing that you've done is you've set the bar insanely high now, and you make us all better, brother. So appreciate you, proud of you, and let's go, baby. Time to grow this thing. So
let's go.
All right, future is bright, bro. Appreciate you. Talk more soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys. That's why you show up, because to learn the things that are giving you confidence, and giving you clarity to get out of your own head and just get on the phones and have conversations with people. Can't learn it by osmosis. You can learn it by action. So thank you to Julius. Thank you to who he's become, and to what he's doing now to continue to evolve this industry, and especially within our company. So, and it wouldn't be appropriate if I didn't make a special honorary moment of Zen featuring the one and only. So without further ado, here is this week's Moment of Zen. See you next week, guys. Bye for now.
Stop saying I have to and start saying I get to. Stop saying I will try and start saying I will do. Stop saying I don't know how and start saying I haven't learned yet. Stop saying I think and start saying I know. And stop saying I hope it works and start saying I'll figure it out. Your words shape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your actions. And then your actions, well, they shape your future. Speak like the person you're becoming, and save this and send this to a friend who needs a mindset reset.